Well, it is 2018. We're already 2 months deep into the year, but I think it bears worth in visiting that we go on over. I'm losing my microphone. My microphone's down here. Hello, we're live. Woo! All right. So, at any rate, 9 steps to successful self-publishing in 2018. Stay tuned. Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale and
Kelly.
And if you want some tips and strategies to publishing your own books, make sure that you subscribe and turn your notifications on to get all my latest videos. And don't miss a single live broadcast. When?
What's today? Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for when things go completely haywire in the Roberts household.
Oh no, it's all you.
Yeah, yeah. See, like, this is a new setup here, folks, and I'm not looking for pity, but, you know, I had to run out, I had to get things, the metadata was all off, so some of you might have to refresh your browser to see what we're going to be talking about today. So in any event, yes, this is the new setup. We haven't tweaked anything just yet. There are going to be some new features that we're going to roll out here pretty soon, so it's very exciting. But before we get too far into this live stream, I wanted to point out that today's live stream is brought to you in part by, well, as soon as my, folks, we're flying by the seat of our pants here. I am trying to work this stinking thing, but I can't hit I can't hit our sponsors. For the love of all things sacred, let me use the sponsors. I can literally, here, folks, listen, it's going to probably be a car wreck right now, so just bear with us. I am really I am at my wit's end today. So, talk amongst yourselves. How are you doing? See how the live chat's doing while I try to show who our sponsors are today.
Well, why don't you just talk about it?
Why don't I just talk about it?
Yeah.
Because I'm supposed to actually pop these things up here.
Oh, okay.
So that's the biggest issue I'm running into. Hey, look at that. The chat's here.
It's in the corner.
Yeah, the chat's in the corner. That's kind of nice. So you know what? My apologies. Any event, for some reason, I can't select my scenes here in OBS. I'm a self-publisher.
But it's right there.
Yeah, I'm a self-publisher, not a video publisher, I guess, these days.
Monique says, take a deep breath.
It's good to have you around, Monique. It's great to see Ava's in the house. Any event, we do have some live sponsors, and I think it's definitely worth it. So at this point, I'm just going to point over here towards Kelly, who's falling off the screen, by the way, everybody. Now, anybody that can be able to pick out when Kelly starts to yawn, all right, you need to get her to pay you a shiny nickel. So hopefully she won't, because now she knows there's high energy inside this room.
I think I can afford a shiny nickel.
A shiny nickel. So in any event, let's see here. I'm going to try to move this chat window over for just a moment here.
Flashing your pan. Hello. I don't
Flashing
recognize your name.
I don't know either.
See, who else? Monique, thanks for stopping by. Mark and Ava, of course, I've been chatting with you already.
Yeah.
Keith Wheeler.
Wheeler.
Is that his last name? I assume. K. Wheeler?
Yes, that's Keith. That's our boy Keith.
Thanks for stopping by. Flashing your pan. Welcome, I think. I don't recognize your name. Can we have a yawn cam next week?
I think that's a good idea.
I only had 2 cups of coffee
today. We have many things that were planned today, but I have yet to actually use this new open broadcasting software. And my apologies, folks, if you guys were kind of coming in here to expect something completely different. It's just, you know, like for instance, our slideshow just keeps saying, no, we're not going to do the slideshow today. And on top of that, we actually have sponsors who's going to pop up. But we're just going to go ahead and talk about the sponsors. Very first thing is going to be Lulu.com is the proud sponsor of us today. What does self-publishing mean to you? Is it about your entrepreneurial spirit, about earning more from your content? Is it a need to own your work? Do you have a keepsake you want to print and hold on to forever, or a smartphone full of photos you never look at? No matter what self-publishing means to you, to Lulu it means all of that and more. Lulu's been creating books for over 15 years. If you can imagine writing it, Lulu can print it. This is 2018. No one with the urge to create should be held back. And I just clicked my own stinking link. Held back by production constraints, Lulu opens the door, set up and publish today at lulu.com. So thank you very much to Lulu and Lapit Marketing. In today's world of marketing, one of the most important aspects of marketing is the social media platform. This marketing tool applies to a variety of professions. However, the practicalities of internet life can be tricky for many. Not everyone is computer savvy and would prefer to solely focus on their craft, or they have a tight budget but need help in this arena. How does one market their own work if they have little money or they don't understand how the market works, or both? There are so many entities out there charging fees that are not doable for most, or they promise what they cannot deliver. Stephanie Hopkins has created Lapit Marketing to tailor to these needs and much more. LAP stands for literature, art, and photography. She has a passion for these arts and knows firsthand the continual changes in marketing and how to reach an audience. Stephanie has designed a social media platform that reaches out to a diverse audience. Head to lapitmarketing.com for more details. My apologies to our sponsors. I had full promotional things all set up today, but the dashboard changed on me. My preview moved from one area to the next. Where's my brother when I need him? Yeah, normally he's here, yet for some reason, not here today. So yeah. Normally you guys would have that flashed up there and you don't see me reading from a script. So, hey, look, you see behind the curtain. That's exactly how life works. So today we're going to be talking about 9 successful steps in self-publishing in the year 2018 and beyond. And we're going to be talking a little bit to some of you guys as far as the newbies go. But there's some of you experienced indie authors, I think, that could probably use a little bit of a refresher as we're kind of discussing some of these things here.
Someone from Poland's in the house. Hi.
Poland, wow. Hey, there we go. I found it! It just pops this up.
Calm down.
Oh, I'm profusely sweating here, folks. You know, not that we're live and going to be viewed by hundreds of people over the next day or so. No pressure. No pressure.
There's no pressure. It's
no pressure.
Fun. We're talking to our friends.
So, in any event, sorry to Lulu and Lapit Marketing, we would have popped up your beautiful things. But what have we been doing in the DIY publishing course community lately? Can you tell people what we've been doing?
I don't pay attention to
look at the screen.
Oh, book trailers.
Yes. Tell them exactly what we've been doing with the book trailers within the community.
There's a contest going on.
Yes.
That's all I know.
Okay, so let me go ahead and describe it here to you.
Way to put me on the spot.
So, as some of you know, we launched the DIY publishing course beta launch back in January and enrolled up to about February 1st. And we've got roughly about 32 people within our community. And part of the community is I like to challenge people. I like to really push you. And I like for everyone to take massive freaking action, even if it's not the prettiest thing in the world. And so we actually had about 10-ish videos from some people here that we put together with the express intent of advertising our books. So what is that called? A book trailer. And I've heard so many people say book trailers are not worth it, but I really have to just argue the point is if you're just throwing book trailers out for the sake of book trailers without any form of follow-up, of course it's not going to do that well. But I'll tell you this, that being a person who's done affiliate marketing and actually puts up video and puts time into driving traffic to those things, it can be successful. So that's why I said to my community, I said, hey, let's try to do book trailers. Even if you've never done it before, let's give it a shot. So we had quite a few great contenders, and it was in the last hour, like literally within the last hour before we went live, that we were able to find our winner. Now, crossing our fingers, I'm hoping that this works. So today's DIY publishing community member who is the lucky winner and voted by most of the community was, let's go ahead, drum roll please. And a big congratulations out to our community member, Stephen Hibbert. You got most of the votes. Some of you might have seen this video here before. Those of you that haven't, you obviously had some of that information. When this stream is done, I'll put all the important contact information if you want to look that trailer up. Do us a huge favor, hit a thumb up and give it a good share. So congrats, Stephen. I anticipate we're going to have other challenges. And remember, this is something that's just unique to the DIY publishing course community, and that's going to be available to the public in March. Okay, so we're looking at a full launch, so there's no longer just the beta version. So I'm very excited, just finishing up some of the last touches on the complete course. So this is kind of cool.
2 people said no sound, but I don't know if it was from the trailer or us now. So I asked, but I know there's a delay.
Ooh, man.
On the trailer.
On the trailer. My apologies. You guys got to see it. Unfortunately, it looks like it didn't come through. So sorry, Stephen. We'll try to air that on a future date. But in any event, just want to say congratulations there. In any event, there is still a contest and giveaway underway. This goes out to everybody, not even just the DIY publishing community. Head on over to the massive giveaway for self-publishers. You just head over to selfpublishingwithdale.com/giveaway, and you can enter daily all the way up to March 8th. Thursday, March 8th, we're going to have the big giveaway. We're going to have guests that are going to come to the show, and we're going to pull winners live. Now, do you have to be present? No. Just remember to do the giveaway now, so that way you can collect it on later. All right, so at any rate, let's talk about the 9 steps to successful self-publishing in 2018. And I'm hoping that everything will start working out because I'm still profusely sweating.
Chill.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. I got to keep looking back here, folks, because I'm not used to the PC setup now. Here we go. 9 steps to successful self-publishing. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? We'll get it cleaned up here in the next broadcasts. Number 1, if you're going to start out in this business, Kelly.
Pick what you want to do, because publishing is not just Kindle books.
Right.
It's video, paperbacks, t-shirts. So some people don't want to write. Some people don't want to hire writers. So what are you interested in? Pick it.
Yeah. I know. What's your jam? What's the thing that really gets you going?
Designing, which is my jam is, depending on the day, create space and merch. Depending on my mood. I leave it open.
Now, keep in mind, folks, publishing isn't just limited to books. So that you're aware, there are other avenues that you can really go into. So that's why she brings up, you know, she's not just publishing this. I know that you've done video publishing as well.
I do. I video our ducks.
So we'll get into video
Use
publishing
your imagination.
soon. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, find what really works for you. That's why I see a lot of people out there that are Kindle publishing. Folks, there's more out there. Trust me on this. In fact, there's so many great avenues that are beyond the Amazon platform if you just, you know, kind of open your eyes. But next point is 2, niche research. And I'll cover this one. It's really important that you just don't do... Yeah, it's commendable to those of you that are doing it for the art. If you like to write for writing's sake, then by all means, go for it. You know, if it fulfills your heart, then I definitely just recommend that you do that. But in the same regard, I think that if you can take the time to research and see exactly where you can take your first steps, you're going to be that much more successful instead of just shooting blindly at targets and hoping for the best. So if there's any part of this whole process, this is where you're going to want to take a little bit extra time. And I'm not just talking 5 or 10 minutes. This might take a couple hours, may take a few days. But when you really purposely pick the niche that you're going into, you're going to be that much more successful.
Do your rough draft, whether it's writing or t-shirts. I have a list always going of ideas, and sometimes I'll even sketch out what I want it to look like. Yeah, so just get your ideas down, whatever that may be.
Yeah, Martin McConnell was a great interview guest, and you get the opportunity, go back on the old videos that I have, and I had a great candid conversation with Martin, so much so that I got demonetized on the video, but I was prepared for that. But in any event, Martin McConnell wrote Write That Damn Book, and in that book he discusses how when you're on that rough draft, just get it going and just fire it off every single day, sitting down, writing out everything that you need to do to get it done. And I think a lot of writers unfortunately get caught in their own heads and they get into editor mode as opposed to writing mode. You want to go into rough draft, fire it off, get it done. Because Lord knows the second step, in my opinion, is much harder.
Editing, you know, whether that's hiring someone, doing it yourself, looking it over again, video editing. There's not too much editing when it comes to shirts, unless it's your description. But yeah, just looking over your rough draft again to see any potential errors you might have. Yeah.
And some of you that are really working on a fixed budget, I understand that you can't afford probably a $10,000 editor to go through and fix your 100-page manuscript. But, if you can really be resourceful and how you plan it out. One of the interviews that I had was with Australian writer Riley Morrison, and in that Riley actually took his manuscript and edited small chunks of it every month, what he could afford. So by the time a year had progressed, he was able to have a fully polished manuscript he was able to fire out, and it didn't put him into the poorhouse. Next one. Final draft. Okay, there is something to be said about editing. Keep in mind, when you edit, you shouldn't be just running through it once. You should probably be doing it a few times, line by line, and then hitting the proofreading, and that's what's going to bring you to that final draft, to where you're going to want to send out some proof copies to your ARC reader team, your advanced reader copy team, if you will. And I would just say with final draft, take your time. There's so many self-publishers I see getting this last step wrong. They get their final draft and they fire it off, and then they find a bevy of mistakes. Yes, you always find mistakes in your manuscript, but it shouldn't be blatant errors that you could have missed before you hit that publish button. So if there's anything I always recommend is before you hit that publish button, make sure, absolutely sure, that final draft is on point, because if it's not, you'll hear about it in the reviews.
Book cover or any other graphic design stuff you need for your products. So whether that's I don't know what it's called, thumbnail for your videos, or if you need to make some icon for your shirts, or I guess that's really not a good example unless you use AMS. But yeah, any graphic design you need for your final product.
Mm-hmm. I really can't add any more about that. I did a full series on book covers and them being paramount, that you really get the book cover tied down really tight. You can do it yourself, folks, but here's the one thing I would recommend. If you do it yourself, get an unbiased party to look it over and give you an honest criticism, and be prepared, because one of the worst things to hear is your baby's ugly. Okay, sometimes people are going to say your baby's ugly, but you've got to be prepared for that, and you need to be able to adjust that. So if you're going to do your own book covers, get feedback, adjust accordingly, and then launch the product when it's ready. Now, those are you that's for you that just have no money and want to do it yourself. I would really just recommend, there are really great cover designers out there that you can really get this covered and done really well. I mean, gosh, I think I just showed you one the other day that was ridiculously good.
Yeah, I mean, I have a different opinion. If you are interested in designing your own cover, learn it, but don't be, you know, opposed to hiring out as well, because I think it might save some money in the long run if it's something you like. So,
yeah.
My favorite thing, marketing.
Why is it your favorite thing, huh?
Sarcasm, but I did do something this week for marketing. Shocker. I listed a book on Facebook Marketplace. It only got 4 views as of this morning, but I just wanted to try it out.
4 views, Facebook Marketplace.
I'm done marketing for the year.
She's finished. She's finished. Of course, you know, my favorite thing is Amazon Marketing Services. I love me some AMS ads. And that's one of the avenues. Of course, we know everybody and their mother at these days is just into Facebook ads. And something else that I've been really delving into is using YouTube ads. Those can be relatively cost effective, and I would really recommend it. There's, in fact, some of you probably watching this may have discovered my channel through an actual ad that I fired off. And fun story is I've paid anywhere from about 2 cents to 11 cents at best per view of a particular video. And, you know, I can get anywhere from about 10% to as much as 60% view rate. And that's good, I would say, especially if it's pre-roll ads or if it's somewhere else like an in-display ad of some sort. But any event, you know, advertising is just tantamount. Don't expect to just publish your stuff and your audience is going to come. I mean, is there a neon sign above my head pointing to the fact that I'm open for business, Kelly?
No, I took it down.
Oh, yeah. See, look. And, you know, if you've got a wife like mine, she probably takes your neon sign down because she needs to get a little shut-eye. So that's the thing is you really need to get out there and you need to market and promote. And I would really recommend when you get off of this live stream here with us, or if you're done watching this in the replay, go into this playlist series on my channel, and there's actually one on marketing and promotion, and it's a lot of outside the box thinking that really doesn't require much of an investment, much more than sometimes time. And that's really what it's all about. It's getting out there, trying some things, see what works for you, tweak what's working, or excuse me, tweak what's not working, and then push forward. You can't expect to sit behind your keyboard and make a decent living. You're going to have to really think about ways that you can even get out. We're going to talk about that in a little bit here. I don't want to get too far out.
What's next? You can't rest on your laurels and only publish one book unless you're a unicorn, but still, you should still think about your next product. Because even if you are a unicorn, your customers want to read more, or see more, or wear more, whatever your product is. So just keep that in mind on what you want to do next.
Yeah, if you plan on just pushing one book, you know, go for it. I would really recommend, though, that you figure out what is that next step. Be it, I'm going to launch another book. That seems like the best, most logical step and probably the easiest one, versus possibly if you're nonfiction, if you're an expert of some sort, that you go out and do speaking engagements. Our good friend, Terry Bryant, fan of the channel here. Terry's a really good guy. He went and got a news station appearance here more recently in his neck of the woods. And kudos to you, Terry. Terry went out and he got out there. That was his way of, first of all, marketing, and his next step was getting out there and making himself visible. So if you're going to be planning anything, I would recommend another book, as well as Kelly says here, but there's always just getting out there, trying to get speaking engagements and so forth. But I want to know, what step is the most difficult for you? What do you find the worst? What do you find the worst? I would like to hear what you guys say here inside the chat. Drop it on down there. What is the hardest part of self-publishing? What is the part that just gets you hung up? What about you?
Marketing, because I don't do it. My marketing is buying my t-shirts and wearing them at the gym. That's marketing. You're showing people your product. What about you? What do you hate?
Me, I'm not gonna lie, it's rough draft. Where I've got one finger pointed forward, three are pointed back at me here, folks. I literally get caught up in that editor mode. So that's why I found Martin McConnell so fascinating, because this guy, if you ever follow Martin McConnell on Twitter, he posts his daily word count, and it's in the thousands here, folks. Thousands. Like, he's like 6,000 today. I'm like, good Lord, dude, stop, you're an animal. So, but rough draft, it's the worst, because after that, I almost feel like I can get it to the editor. I don't mind being browbeaten by an editor. I don't mind getting the red, pen. That's not a big issue. It's just the writing part and getting it done.
Everyone hates marketing.
Everyone hates marketing.
Yep.
What part of marketing do you hate the most? I mean, that's going to be, is it the paying for things, or is it some of the suggestions that I say?
Mark hates he just says marketing, getting out there. Everyone else just says marketing, nothing specific. Yeah. I just feel like it's salesy. Like, if people are going to buy it, they're going to buy it. Why should I bug people to buy my stuff? That's how I feel. I feel like it's more salesy than anything. I might change my mind in the future, but that's...
Does that mean you're not buying my book?
I don't buy your book. I don't.
She doesn't get it for free here, folks. She does not get it here for free. But I do want to, of course, start to... Before we get to that last step, we're going to go ahead and give one final plug here to our official sponsors of today's broadcast, and that is Lulu.com. For details on how you can self-publish your own books, whether it be ebook or print or whatnot, head on over to Lulu.com. And then our other sponsor for today is Lappet Marketing. Take a look at what Lappet Marketing has to offer for your social media needs, as well as building a brand and platform. Stephanie is exemplary. I imagine we're going to have her on the show sometime in the near future. I just actually had an interview with her not too long ago, and you folks will get to see those questions that I had with her on a very future broadcast here. But in any event, also those two are involved in the massive giveaway for self-publishers. So make sure that you head over to selfpublishingwithdale.com/giveaway and enter for your chance at one of 12 prizes, including free proof copies from Lulu, as well as the Lappet Marketing is really awesome. I can't even go into all the details on it. You just got to go there and find out, but they're going to essentially help you build an online presence. So that's what it's all about. Well, what's that last point, Kelly?
What is it?
What is that last point?
Networking.
Networking.
It is so freaking easy to stay in your little bubble at home, and I swear you lose people skills. I've been making it a goal to be in contact with people every single day, and not with just business, but it's so important to be around people. So get out there, whether it's meetup.com or just going to a coffee shop. You never know who you're going to meet. Just don't browbeat them with your products. We're not a direct marketing company.
yeah, that's the thing is, I love to meet up with people. Melina Shaw, we know her out in Arizona, and we met her through networking, and she's become one of our best friends and probably one of our biggest cheerleaders. And honestly, when I see her now, I really don't care about sharing anything about my products, because I want to hear what she's doing. I want to hear what she's up to. But the funny thing is it becomes a tug of war, because she wants to know what we're up to, and we want to know what she's up to. When you go out to networking and you network with other people, whether you're going outside of your house or you're doing a Facebook group of some sort, or you're meeting in a live broadcast chat like you are right now, make it your intent to try to talk to people. converse with them. I encourage you right now, you're probably seeing the normal cast and crew popping up here in the live broadcasts. So this is an opportunity for you to network with these individuals, because the more people that you know and the more people that you can help, the sooner that you can become successful in most anything that you're doing in life. And I think that we're very fortunate in that aspect, and I want to kind of say thank you to everybody that actually supports this channel. And if it weren't for you, I think that we'd probably be, you know, broadcasting to nobody at this point. And that would be sad, wouldn't it? Yeah. So thank you very much. I do appreciate everybody popping in here as per usual. I've got my blinding display back here. But hey, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed today's broadcast and watching me sweat it out at the very beginning of things. My apologies to our sponsors for today's live stream, being Lulu and Lappet Marketing. It turned into a train wreck at first, and Stephen Hibbert, congratulations on winning the book trailer challenge. We'll see if we can kind of iron out some of those issues and make it up to you somewhere or another, because we got to see the visual element, but we didn't get to hear the actual stuff. Thank you, OBS.
Do we have time for questions?
We got time for questions. Let's do it. You know, we were a little late getting things started up.
Do you think a website is necessary to market more efficiently?
Let me give you my opinion, because I'm the expert of my own opinion. Yeah, it's better to have a website to send people to. That way you could have a set amount of resources, so you can have your collection of books. Because here's the thing, you can send them over to Amazon, but you're just sending Amazon more people. I would say send your readers over to a website to where you have a landing page, where you have an exclusive product to offer, things like that. So I think so, yeah, a website, and it's just so relatively inexpensive these days. There's Namecheap.com, I think it is, that you can buy a domain for like $1 for the first year. And then like hosting services, you can probably just get a free WordPress website if you wanted to, and just attach your domain on that.
And literally hire Ava to set it up for you.
And then hire a killer virtual assistant in Ava Fails, because Ava just is crushing it right now. By the way, we've got some stuff in the works here for you folks, and I'm not going to go into it too much. Do we have any other questions within the chat?
Oh, we did something about, let's see. Most people hate marketing. We have a lot of introverts in the room that have no people skills.
Hey, I don't have any people skills either, folks. I'm just a bull in a china shop.
This is interesting, just a comment. Monique, networking is why I went back to work, because I would rather stay home. So she forced herself to go to work. I know there is some question about,
okay.
Beata, I'm sorry if I say your name right or wrong. What do you think about AMS?
What do I think about AMS?
Yeah, that's all she said.
I pretty much already kind of put it out there. I love me some AMS. AMS, definitely, let's just put it this way, and hopefully I can get behind the dashboard one of these times and show you my AMS dashboard and some of the success I've had on it. I had a publication, and I shared this with you the other day, that this thing was in the millions, like it was hardly drawing flies, and it was a good book. I had outsourced a writer to publish this underneath a pen name, and essentially I just kind of gave up on it until AMS came around, and I thought I would just experiment and play around with it. And now both the Kindle and the paperback version and the audiobook are just crushing it right now. I know that in sales alone, now this isn't anything to write home about, but in sales alone, I think I pulled right about $200 to $300 for the print, possibly about $100 to $200 on Kindle. And then maybe not quite that much in audiobooks, because unfortunately I did a 50-50 split.
I'd take that money.
Yeah, I'll take it nonetheless. So AMS is great. It can revive some of those dead books that you have if you're not having any kind of luck with it. And also if you're doing manually targeted sponsored ads or product display ads, no, not product display ads, excuse me, sponsored ads, you can start to find out what keywords are enticing the buy, because when you can start to figure out what keywords people are purchasing your product through, you can start to take those keywords and put it over into your metadata, double down on it, and get it to where you're speaking in your ideal audience's language. I love AMS for that reason, because you can start to figure out what are the keywords that are working and which aren't. Yeah.
I'm going to reword this question, but
Okay.
Black Moon 2004 wants to know about Kindle Unlimited. When you're publishing and going through this process, what do you think about that?
About Kindle Unlimited, KDP Select program? I think KDP Select program is pretty stellar. It favors the newbie self-publisher, more importantly, in the aspect that if you're just coming into this business, I would recommend out the gate, go for KDP Select, at least a 90-day period, and see how well it does. Now, they pay you a fraction of a cent per page that's flipped. So it really is, I hate to use this word, and I shouldn't use it. It's almost slave wages that you're getting paid for, you know, each page flip. But remember the KDP Select program, anytime someone flips one of your pages, it influences your bestseller rank. Remember, the further up that you go into that bestseller rank, the more exposure that you have, and that means there's the possibility of more sales. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I know you had quite a few fiction books at one point that all they got were just page flips, correct? And they never got any real purchases.
Yeah, fiction is more the page flips. There's not really a whole
Right.
lot of purchases, but I don't have any. 99% of my books are out of KDP Select.
Yeah. Yeah, KDP Select is okay. I'm a big proponent of publishing wide, but only because it's easier for me. There are some things, though, I've left on KDP Select because really I could take it off of it, but I don't think I'm going to make that much more going wide. So you have to just kind of weigh the pros and cons. If you do decide to get off KDP Select at one point, remember, opt out, wait for your enrollment period to finish, then look at publishing wide, but make sure you're tracking where you're putting those up to, because otherwise you're going to be in some real trouble if you want to delist them on those sites and go back to the comforts of KDP Select.
Okay, last question. What do you think about advertising on BookBub?
BookBub is pretty stellar. I have not personally done that. I would really recommend you check an interview with Paul Rega and another one with Martin Crosby on my channel. The two of them swear by BookBub. Paul was there at their early portion of BookBub, so he was really, really fortunate, and they shot his book to the moon. I heard some rumblings about some people getting flagged from using BookBub. I don't know if anything ever came of those people that were getting flagged on those things.
I told you that. I read some article, but I don't remember many details.
Right, there were some people that were using BookBub. Good luck. You're going to have to make sure that your cover, your metadata, you've got enough reviews on your book, your interior is just on point, because more often than not, BookBub is denying people access because they're very selective about who they promote to their really large email list. And then on top of that, you're going to pay in the hundreds in order to actually utilize them. So not only will you go through that rigid and strict vetting process BookBub does, then you've got to pay a premium to actually be listed. Now, from what I understand, and this is from the interview, you can go back and watch this one with Paul, most instances you're going to get your money back. He said he's heard very rarely when people wouldn't get their money back. But when you're promoting, say, a free book, it's kind of hard to weigh in. You know, if you only have a free book you're offering and you don't have a backlog, well, of course you're not going to make much money. But thankfully, Paul's got a nice little backlog. So anytime he runs a BookBub ad, I'm sure people are going through and purchasing the rest of his books.
Well, if you're going to spend hundreds on BookBub, why not spend hundreds on AMS? You'll probably get more money, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, you're getting it on there. Diversify, to me. I think that you want to diversify. I stopped going at BookBub only because it was just such a strict vetting process that I felt almost like I could do things that were just much easier, a quicker win for me. And but I recommend give it a shot. There's a lot of people that are very, very great experts on that. And if you were to comment on that video interview with Paul, Paul actually responds to each and every single comment on that one. He actually is very proud of that interview, and he gets some great 411. I'm telling you, this guy's an experienced author and veteran of this business, so take notes. All right, well, hey, if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, we definitely would appreciate if you do that. Normally we'd have an end screen, but it can turn into a complete train wreck, so there's not going to be an end screen this time around. That's okay, right?
Yeah, I hope y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
Like, have a comment.
How could we forget? Next Thursday. Hello.
What?
Thursday, March 1st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to want to join us here, hopefully not the train wreck show. We're going to be doing the secrets of Create Space Publishing. And my lady right here, she
I'm
pulled
excited about this one.
The secrets of Create Space Publishing. I mean, you know, Kelly made it no secret not too long ago. She pulled 5 figures alone from Create Space in Q4 on December itself and continues to pull really, really well going into the new year. So you may want to kind of come next week to hear the secrets of Create Space Publishing and find out what we got to say about it. Because Create Space, believe it or not, Create Space isn't dead, folks.
No.
It's still very viable. We're still getting some nice paychecks here in the Roberts household. In the meantime, in between time, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you share it with somebody else who's into self-publishing too. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale
and Kelly.
and we'll see you next Thursday.